Welcome back. Greg Moran joining us now of Zoomcar to discuss some of the demand trends that they've been witnessing in the pre-owned market. Greg, good to have you with us. Let's start off with that. What have you seen in terms of the kind of demand that this pandemic has thrown up and the kind of opportunities for car rental companies? How have people been prioritizing now personal mobility given what we've seen over the last few months?
Sure. So I think it's been, really exciting last couple months in terms of seeing the customer demand and uptick, post the lockdown, just because we've seen that there's been a huge prioritization around sort of personal mobility and safety and, looking at, convenient, flexible options that are, much more secure and stable from a customer mindset point of view. And I think that's where, the self-drive option, is something which is really resonating with people, both at a subscription level as well as a overall level in terms of short-term rental. And that's something that we've seen, about right now. We're seeing over this last stretch here in December during the holidays, we're seeing about a 2x jump in terms of where the demand levels were from last December. So that gives you a good context. I mean, I think for us, we saw, 100% recovery, from sort of the end of October into November, and now we're seeing an absolute growth in terms of the demand levels.
What are the costs like, Greg, for rentals versus, let's say, a second-hand car ownership? I mean, how does that stack up when it comes to people making a choice? And how do you see that trend really evolving in the new year?
Sure. Well, I think secondhand ownership has certainly become more popular and favorable compared to outright new car ownership. But I think it boils down to the use case. I think for people who are looking at shorter term rentals, the use case is typically people who only need a vehicle for maybe a few days out of the month maximum. And so, it's a slightly different comparison point where people who are looking at purchasing a vehicle, they're looking at a vehicle for, probably 10, 15, 20 days in a month at least. And so the comparison is more, for subscription vis-a-vis, a used car purchase. And, with the subscription, you find it in most cases being much more compelling as an offering because you have, even compared vis-a-vis to a used car purchase, you're still looking at something which is 60 to 70% less outflow on day one. And you're still looking at something then which doesn't have to worry about service maintenance, doesn't have to worry about insurance, also doesn't have to worry about depreciation, and the end of the life, so to speak, is actually much shorter for you. So the convenience and flexibility is still materially more so on there in terms of subscription vis-a-vis a used car purchase.
Right. Greg, can you give us a sense as to which markets are you seeing demand coming from at the moment? And is it mainly for SUVs, or are we seeing it across other segments too?
I mean, the big markets for us are the top 5 metros, which is kind of overwhelmingly, constituting a majority of business for us. So looking at Bangalore, Hyderabad, certainly Mumbai, Delhi, Pune, and Chennai. So these, top 5, 6 markets have constituted a majority of that demand. Yes, I mean, SUVs are always, especially in this time, usually in the December, January times when it's most festive, we see the biggest spike. So those typically do have the highest demand. But from a baseload standpoint, over the last 3-4 months, the premium compact segment, so kind of that like 5 to 7 lakh segment, has seen the maximum demand, which is kind of in line with historical trends as well.
All right, we'll let you go on that note. Thanks much for taking time out and joining in and giving us a sense as to how business is shaping up. Clearly, personal mobility is what Zoomcar is currently betting on.